Well, evening, evening. What the hell am I saying? Afternoon, people. Afternoon. How are we all doing? The morning after, well, afternoon after the night before. That's probably the better way to say it. I think that avatar. I think that avatar is appropriate for this occasion. I didn't want to do one with Jake Paul giving another finger up just in case, but that's how it feels. Feels like he's laughed his way all the way to the bank for that absolute S show that happened last night. Unreal. Unreal. Anyway, we'll let the chat build up real quick. We get a few people in the building, and then we see what people are thinking. We see what people have on their mind about this. I know a lot of people are really unhappy about this fight. And I can see why. I get you. I can see 110% why a lot of people are particularly aggrieved about this. And again, I'll let the chat build up really, really quickly. If you can, if you're in the chat, there's 20 already in the chat. Hopefully we'll get a few more in soon. If you haven't already, do please hit the like button on the way in. Help this live stream get seen. Maybe we can get a good few more in. We can get a lay of the land, see what people are thinking after this long-awaited, anticipated farce. And that's the right word to use, farce. Oh, boy. And for those wondering, I have the camera, but for the lives, I always use the good mic. So I'm not plugging in. And the camera quality is not great. But to be fair, like it doesn't look that bad there, actually. But I just feel like maybe the avatar is better for this one. Saying that, genuinely doesn't look that bad there, to be fair, in terms of the quality. Maybe it's because it's daytime and the light is being let in, but yeah, it was last night was bad. Early hours of this morning, that was bad. So let's have a look at the chat. I want to see that, to be JD, that's not a bad show, actually. That's actually not a bad show, because John Fury has been, or at least he was, because he's been quiet over the last couple of months, but he was very loud about that Mike Tyson fight. And to be honest with you, I didn't see the post-fight interviews. I didn't really want to, but I did see, I think it was Joe Stunner Boxing said that he's seen the post-fight interviews, and Mike Tyson was saying he might go again. Now, after that, Mike Tyson should just hang. Well, he should never have put them back on. But you see where I'm going. John Fury might be one of those that you could entertain, because John Fury is, he's well into. Is he older than Mike Tyson? Like, how old is John Fury? He's well into his 50s, or is he older? Hang on a minute. John Fury is 59, so he's slightly older than Mike Tyson, and he was never that good. He's certainly not in his prime, so that might be an idea. I doubt John Fury would take the fight, but let's wait and see. And I might even do a separate. You might have given me a video idea with that one, mate. I'm not gonna lie, you might have given me a video idea with that one. Never going to see Mike in the ring again. What he said post fight was knee-jerk reaction. I don't want to see it. But having said that, I still think he could beat Logan Paul, mate. After what I seen last night, I don't want to see Mike Tyson anywhere near a boxing ring for his own safety. Mate, that first round where Tyson came out, he came out quick. Like, that first round, he didn't do much. Like, I say he didn't do much. He had a bit of movement. He had his legs a little bit there. And, yeah, he didn't do much. It wasn't at a heavy pace. Didn't throw an awful lot of shots. And he was absolutely spent after that. Man, that's not good. That's really not good. So, nah. Give it a rest, mate. Boring now. Literally, as I think Waffles are great said, the fight happened less than 8 hours ago. So we got to talk about it. Would you say Tyson was never the same after the Douglas loss, or was it primarily after the 4-year absence from the ring? Yeah, I'd say realistically it was after the 4-year absence. I think that, was Mike Tyson in the best, did he have the best preparation for the Douglas fight? No, but Buster Douglas didn't either. I mean, let's forget his mother died only 3 weeks before. The mother of his child was diagnosed with a pretty severe illness. So Buster Douglas didn't have the best preparation either, but he was able to put that to one side. I want to see a rematch. I'll put the camera back on for a bit. Why not? Even me reading the comments, seeing that is just annoying me because of what happened last night. Even seeing that is annoying me. I want to see a rematch. I certainly don't. Big up to Reese, Holyfield. Big up to Ben. How are you, my friend? How are you? How are you? I hope you're keeping well, man. Afternoon. I'm in Berlin for the weekend. Do you know something, mate? You're gonna have to let me know how that goes because I'd love to go to Berlin. I'd love this. There's part of Germany I'd love to see. I haven't been yet. So keep me in the loop and let me know how that goes. I hope you're keeping well, my friend. I hope you're keeping well. The drunken Irishman with the big fists up. That's a great name, man. Absolute great name. Yeah. Now I haven't seen it, but I have heard it quoted and stuff. Said that he felt sad for Mike and didn't want to KO him. Well, I mean, you've said it there. Why take the fight in the first place? This to me was a cash grab. And I think for someone like Jake Paul to basically admit that, this was a cash grab, I didn't want to hurt the guy, this, that, and the other, that kind of says it all, doesn't it? He was there to make money, have a little run around the ring, and that was it. And he landed a couple of shots on Tyson. I genuinely think Jake Paul himself probably knew in that first round, listen, if I actually sit down, open up a combination, throw some shots, sit down on it, I could be done. And I think it was only, 16 minutes to fight because it was only 2-minute rounds. I'm sure he just thought to himself, do you know what? He's not going to touch me. He's got one leg basically because he couldn't move. He couldn't lean in with shots. He had to literally just, if he was here and you were there, he couldn't touch you because he couldn't step forward. He couldn't move into any of the shots. He had to just hope for the best. So Jake Paul was probably like easiest money I'll ever make. And I think he carried him. Well, he did carry him. We know that. But I think he knew that. And I think that, in these shows like this, and I would put this, I would put it in the same bracket as Mayweather McGregor, but not as, this is way worse than Mayweather McGregor ever was. They sell it in a way that it makes you believe that, oh yeah, we might be getting something competitive. We're not really. We're getting an absolute farce. Anyone with eyes to see and ears to hear can see that. But they'll try and sell it in a way. You'll see the clips of Mike Tyson. The casual fans who know no better just think, oh, it's Mike Tyson. And I'd done a video during the week, I think it was this week, about Deontay Wilder, where it's like you're living off your reputation. And Wilder, to an extent, still is. Mike Tyson, like nearly 40 years after winning the heavyweight title, is still living off that reputation. The man is closer to collecting his pension than he is to his 40s, and he still has that reputation. It's incredible, but afternoon, G-Man. Do you know something, man? I want to. That's so frustrating. And look, I'm victim of it. Not victim, certainly. I'm guilty of it. Overlooking that show. It's a great show, and it's just gone so under the radar. And people, I think I said, who did I say it to? I don't think I said it in a video. I think I was texting a mate, and I was saying it really shows where boxing is at when we have a great show in Saudi, headlined by a good fight, and no one gives a damn, or the majority don't give a damn, and it's all about Tyson Paul. Is the Batman to last night's? Yes, it's the Batman Begins. I hope so. I really do hope so. I mean, let it be, man. Let it be, because it was. Yeah, I might just keep the camera on. It doesn't look as bad as I initially thought it would, because the camera quality on the laptop here is not great. But I'm looking at it. I have my iPhone here, which I'm logged into, just so I can make sure it's not chopping and that it's running smooth. And to be honest, it genuinely it doesn't look that bad. So I'm going to keep it on. How's the move to London going? Man, I'm here. Man, I'm in Stratford. Look at my window. And actually, funny enough, right, when I was recording my post-fight review in the wee hour, I think it was 5 a.m. or 5:30 a.m., I look across the window because I left the curtains opened. And there's like obviously flats across the way from me. And their living rooms are obviously facing the window. And like I could count them like on 1, 2, 3 floors. All of them had Netflix, Mike Tyson on. You could see it they had the lights and all on. You could see it from my window, from my bedroom window. So I was like, right, the people really do give a you-know-what about it. But yeah, man, it's good over here. I'm home to Ireland on the 4th, which is a Wednesday. So Wednesday fortnight. I'm home to Ireland because my work Christmas party is on the Friday. I come back to London on the Monday, and then I didn't think it through. I'm back to Ireland on the Friday the 13th, unlucky for some, and then I'm back there until New Year's, until the 6th of January. So basically a month. And because, of course, I like to think that I sometimes can be, can do some things without thinking now and again. Sometimes, in hindsight, I really should have just said I'll stay in Dublin for the month of December from the 4th onwards. Didn't think, and booked 2 flights. I'm literally back to London on the Monday the 9th, and then I'm here. Well, it's Monday evening, so let's just say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm home again on Friday. So I didn't think that one through. But no, man, it's good over here. I like it over here. It's just been unfortunate that I don't have any more time off, so I couldn't go to Fury versus Usyk, the press conference. Hopefully next year. Obviously, they haven't done the Dubois one yet, which will probably be in January. I would assume, or maybe December. But hopefully, I'll be able to get to some more of these, and show starting up in January. I'll be able to get to as many as I can because I'm here. I'm here, and me and Ade have talked about doing things. I know he's mad busy right now with the zone and other things as well going. So, there's a lot of good things down the pipeline. There's a lot of good things down the pipeline. So we just have to kind of, wait and see. We have to just kind of wait and see. But man, I'm enjoying it here. I like it over here. And 78 in the building. If you haven't already, please do hit the like button. We've 78 in the building. I'd like to get it an 83. I'd like to get this into the hundreds, so we need to hit the like button. 83 watching and only 14 likes. People, come on, it's free. Just touch that like button. Just hit it. Just smash it. We're up to 15 now. So just hit that like button like it's someone you don't like, Just think of Keir Starmer or something like that when you're hitting that like button. Mike was talking to Jake the whole time. Yeah, that was I think was it Mauro Ranallo was saying that Mike Tyson always did that. I don't recall Mike Tyson. I've watched loads of his fights, obviously on YouTube, and maybe you don't see it as clearly because of the old cameras, but I don't recall him ever doing that, like biting the glove. I know he used to. If you see Mike Tyson in his prime, when he come to the ring, he'd be kind of trying to move the foam around in the gloves because I don't think he ever used horsehair gloves. So what he was trying to do is he's trying to break the foam down. If you ever noticed that in his prime, he'd always be like that with the gloves, trying to move the foam and break it down. So it's kind of more on that side. So his punches, because obviously when you're hitting them, and he hit very correctly, he's hitting there. That's what he's trying to do. But I don't call him ever biting the gloves. That was a really weird one. It was really what you'd expected. I'd like to see that fight. The John Fury fight. Yeah, I think I think JD stumbled onto a video there, to be honest with you. Shout out to you, man. I think you stumbled onto a good little video idea. What really infuriates me was Ariel Helwani was instigating the fight between Logan and Mike, saying, Logan said, I'll kill you, bro, or some BS. Yeah, listen, Ariel Helwani I didn't know who he was really until he started doing the zone. And I'll leave it there. The fight was a joke, shouldn't have been sanctioned. We need Farce to KO Jake. Do you know something, mate? I think the Texas State Athletic Commission, if the fact that drug cheats use them as their license, so they're licensed with the Texas Commission, Dylan White, etc. If that's not ran their name through the mud, the fact that they've sanctioned this fight, they'll have to change things. There's no way this fight ever should have been sanctioned. I can't listen. We complain about the British Boxing Board of Control all the time, and they do a lot of things that I don't agree with. And they've made. I think Rob Smith. There's times where he has really come across as a piece of work when bad decisions, and they have been bad decisions, have been given on the British Boxing Board of Control, shows sanctioned by them. And people have complained and said that's a bad decision. It was Ian John, and he's just shown contempt for the fans. I don't agree with that. I really don't agree with that. But having said that, their safety protocols are brilliant, and they would never in a million years have let this fight happen. Never. Man, seriously, don't, man, both guys are in their 90s. Jesus, man, both guys are in their 90s. No way. Yeah, like Mike Tyson looked better than your average 58-year-old. He really did in terms of aesthetically. But I mean, there are probably people out there who are 58 years old who have not been a professional athlete, but just keep themselves in shape. And they probably wouldn't have looked near as, I'm not saying they would have, like, they wouldn't have fought, obviously, but you know what I mean? They wouldn't have looked as bad running or doing something moving around the ring as Mike Tyson did. Tyson fanboys or something else. Yeah, they're in. I've heard Hatman mention them. Now, I've never really done much on Mike Tyson. So I've never really seen what those fanboys are about. I know when I mention a Telma and the youngest title, they tend to come and no, 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 Mike Tyson, this and that and the other. I think you'd be surprised how little of them actually, how little, excuse me, they know about boxing. And I've got some friends back home who are big Mike Tyson fans, and I don't think I've ever mentioned the Telma to them. But I always say, like, Mike Tyson, when he became youngest heavyweight champion, he didn't have to do much to do it. How can you say that? It's like, when he beat Trevor Berbick, Berbick was knocked out in the round by Bernardo Machado. No, he wasn't. Yes, he was. And he was knocked out in the round by Bernardo Machado long before. I think it was at 78, 79. I think he'd actually, I don't even think he'd fought Ali, Berbick, when he'd been knocked out by Bernardo Machado. And that's who Mike Tyson fought. And then think of it like this. And again, Ali should never have been in the ring with Trevor Berbick. But Ali made that fight competitive. And he had Parkinson's. So he made that fight was competitive. And Ali had Parkinson's. And that's the guy Mike Tyson beat for his heavyweight title. And look, incredible achievement. But yeah, but all fanboys are something else. If you think about it, all fanboys are. You've the Tyson Fury fanboys who, if Tyson Fury shows up to a fight, they're coming saying that warrants praise. Mate, he's a boxer. He's paid to fight. He's actually paid to go and weigh in and fight. So we're to praise him for doing what he's supposed to do because he has a history of pulling out of fights. Anthony Joshua has a weak chin and he overthinks. Oh, no. He does. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Every fanboy will think their fighter is perfect. Some will go overboard. The worst I've seen have been Tyson Fury fanboys. But, I know what other people would say Wilder. Never really had much of an issue with the Wilder fans, to be honest with you. I know people like Hatman have really had them. To be honest with you, I caught the fight late. I caught the fight quite late. So I didn't see the early rounds. In my opinion, and again, it's just my opinion, it was even Steven. I could give Amanda Serrano the rounds I seen an argument that she was winning them. And likewise, Katie Taylor. It was a good fight. I actually quite enjoyed watching it, to be honest with you. I really did. The commentary, like, who was that girl they had commentating? Who, when the decision was announced, she said, that's an asterisk on Katie Taylor's career. What are you talking about? It didn't look like a complete, one-sided drubbing from Amanda Serrano. It looked competitive. Clean, effective shots being landed by both girls. What I will say is I did see Katie Taylor boring in with the head, yes. And a message to Katie Taylor, if she's watching, which she probably isn't. If you can't win your fights clean and fair, then you should retire. Simple as. So that's what I would say. But yeah, I enjoyed that fight. That was a good fight. And that was really the fight of the night. And it was a particularly good. I enjoyed it. I actually did. I really did. Oh, mate. I mean, but that's nostalgia for you. I've always said it, I remember when I was in college. I remember when I was in college and I didn't work when I was in college. So I had money, I had income as well. When I was in college. So I wasn't too bad. But I remember when I left college, I spent about 4 months looking for a job. I studied to work in gyms. I did and didn't like it. Wasn't for me. But I remember leaving and looking around for a job. At the time, it was a little bit trickier. The recession was pretty much over. This was 2015. I think, 15. No, 14? 14 maybe. I don't remember the years now. They go by so quick. But I remember the year before I was working the job, I flipping hate it. And because I was looking back on good memories I was having with some friends, it automatically, in my mind, it made me think that job was better than it was because I was looking at it through kind of nostalgia glass. And then I realized, actually, that job was crap. Why would I want to do that again? And you look back on things and you think, oh, it was so much better. But then it's only certain aspects of it. That nostalgia hits you. It does. I went to Berlin for 3 nights. Man, I'd love to go. There's plenty of places. Next year is going to be a good year for travel. It's going to be a good year for travel. I definitely want to see France. I've been to France. I've been to Paris a couple of times, but now I have the Eurostar train, which is nice. It's wrong that Katie Taylor was on the undercard. It made the fight, to be fair, man. I would say. I did see that though. I seen the prelims where they were drawing crazy views. Like, I mean, those prelims drew insane views. An embarrassment to the sport. They could never play MMA like this. Well, you see, MMA would be much harder to sell to the public. And I'll tell you why. Because whenever you have seen, I remember a guy called Bouncer took on Arms Cullion back in, I think it was September 21, and they did MMA. It was awful. So you couldn't do it because both guys were just on the ground and they weren't doing anything on the ground. They were just trying to get the better of one another without punching or anything like that. So I don't think there's any. MMA would never be something that you'd see kind of this thing in because there's just no real appeal to it. I definitely, I hope you're trolling with that one, mate. I really do because I don't think anyone is, man. Nah. The sad thing is, I hope he doesn't. Man, I wouldn't have assumed so. I thought he was doing all right financially, but I don't know. I don't know. It looks like last night was a big commercial success. Unfortunately, that's the problem, man. I mean, that's the catch-22. You're Jake Paul, and you do a show like that, as farcical as it was, and obviously we're all up in arms about it. It was a disgrace, but it made an absolute killing. I mean, even the undercard fighters were making. Amanda Serrano, I think, spoke about it that she's making millions for her undercard fight. And to be honest with you, I don't. I think I'm glad they were on the undercard because they got well paid. I love seeing fighters get well paid, like Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor getting well paid. I like seeing that. So in one sense, I'm kind of glad they were on it because they got so well paid and they deserved it. They put on a good show. At the same time, I'm sad that it did well because it's going to set a precedent. They're going to think that's a cash grab. And if we can make money this easy for doing something like that, let's do it again. Maybe not with Tyson, but let's do it with someone. Roy Jones wouldn't even, and there you go. I mean, I wouldn't even rule that out. Getting back, so I want to advise you on your channel. I can make I can make a channel to live stream fights so the viewers can watch the fights. If not, sites like Twitch or Rumble. I have to do my research if they will. Okay. We've got a great card tonight. Yeah, we do. I'm backing Zerdo. I think Zerdo is going to win personally, but I think it's going to be a great show. Have a thumbnail ready, lads. I have a thumbnail ready, so I probably will be doing a watch along. I say probably. I always do a couple of ACCAs on a Saturday for the football. I always do a both team to score. I do a couple of them. And if I always say if one of them comes true, then I'm going to go for beers that night. But I haven't been that lucky so far. So chances are I'm going to be doing a watch along. No, I'd be absolutely wrong to do so. Completely wrong to do so. I hope not. Yeah, I mean, you know, I noticed it from the second rounds, and again, these were 8 2-minute rounds, wasn't the full three. So he literally had nothing left after 2 minutes, and they fought at a very low volume. Even for a 2 minute fight, they fought at literally very low volume, and that was it. He was done. So you know, you can't. I think it's going to be epic. I think Zerdo's going to win it on points. Big up, man. You definitely got to be trolling. Kia Stalin just left your 15 like as well. Hey, man, if it helped, man, listen, I've got 44 likes and 146 in the building. So I'm missing 100 likes. So please hit that like button. I'm just saying, if someone said Kia Starmer was the like button and by hitting it is a punch to his face, I'd be hitting that so fast I'd break the iPhone. I'm just saying. I can see it being a war. I think it's going to be epic. I think it's going to be epic. So please do hit the like button, by the way. I thought it was a great fight. Again, I didn't see the full fight. I actually woke up. I actually woke up a bit late because I was told that it was a 4 p.m. or 4 a.m. like the fight would be on. And I ended up waking up, and I think it was the 6th round of Taylor Serrano. So I said, okay, I'm going to watch it. And I enjoyed it. I really did. And I can honestly say that I really enjoyed it. I haven't enjoyed a female fight as much as this in a long time. So, yeah, the Saudis won't. That he was biting his glove in the McBride fight. I didn't see Hatman's watch along. I don't recall him now saying I haven't seen that McBride fight in a long time. So I don't recall him biting his gloves in the watch along, but they literally said they didn't want YouTube fights anymore. Man. Just rematch. Here, just rematch Tommy Fury. Ariel really thinks he's something, don't he? Yeah, like, I'm nothing against it. I don't know him personally, but like, you know, I'd like to think I'm a good judge of character. And there's just, I don't know. I can't, there's something off. I don't get it, but there's something about Ariel that just I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, there's just an offness about him. Just his energy. I don't know. Do you think Jake Paul has what it takes to beat Usyk? Maybe a FIFA, yeah, but in a boxing ring, no. What did you think of the Katie Taylor Serrano fight? Yeah, I believe Roy was right. Something was wrong with Mike's mouthpiece. Yeah, he had to be. And the Katie Taylor Serrano fight was brilliant. Absolutely, it was brilliant. Man, Bellew would annihilate Jake Paul. It's only 6 years. And Bellew's in his, what, 40s? So he would annihilate Jake Paul. Yeah, some of those states, man, I would imagine there's probably some states like, Wyoming and states like that where you never associate with boxing. I'd say they would let anything go to get eyes on them. And in their opinion, even if it's bad eyes, it's still eyes. Wilder versus AJ is the fight to make. We've all heard the news that AJ Dubois is not happening. Thank God. Because it would have been an absolute mismatch if they did. It wouldn't have been fun. I'll put it like that. DJ Chris Watkins, big up, my man, big up. Jake should fight Frosh next if he wants some real competition. Yeah. And that would be real competition. I'd be picking Carl Froch to win that fight, 100%. I'll be looking forward to seeing Carl Froch's reaction if he hasn't already made it. It'll be the Shannon Briggs fight. They'll sell with the casuals. Briggs hasn't fought since 2016, am I right? I think that was the last time he fought. Yeah, man, I tuned in and I want to say I got the fight I expected, but I don't know. I didn't expect it would be this bad, if that makes sense. I didn't expect it would be as bad as it was. I knew it'd be bad, but I was like, this is hell. What the hell? We all know, but credit where it's due. I don't think you can criticize. One thing I will say, this is not going to affect Mike Tyson's legacy in the slightest. Certainly not with me. This to me it doesn't affect his legacy at all. It's like Roy Jones with most of those losses. They don't affect his legacy as a fighter. He fought well past the sell-by date. And this should never have happened. Yeah, I didn't. My dad was an ex-national, the athlete, who let himself go a bit. He's 70, but he's still less stiff and older looking than Mike Tyson was. Sad to watch. Well, you see, mate, you need to remember, like, Mike Tyson, he lived hard. Like, it's not like, Mike Tyson, I remember about 15 years ago, he was very overweight. He, partied hard when he was young. That is all going to come back to bite you at some point. Man, Aspinall. I'm looking forward to Jones versus Stipe this weekend. I think Jones will chin him, but it's still going to be a good fight. Yeah, will be a flop. It depends what he did. Did you make up the expression, he'll lift them clean off the ground? I heard that off another guy back home years ago. And I just thought that was actually a good expression. So I've just stuck with it ever since. There was a promo on MVP and Tyson was struggling so bad to get out of the car. Man, like he was in a wheelchair last year. He had he had health issues back in the summer. That's why I got pushed back. Like, what the? Sounded a bit crazy, but I hope that Canelo does fight Jake next. My Canelo Canelo would knock Jake Paul out without even trying. And I mean that. He would probably throw a shot, not even thinking of a knockout, and oh, he's gone. And yeah, that was her name, Rosie Perez. Canelo might even take that fight. He will. Who was that? Rosie Perez. Yeah, I think that was her. And she said words to the effect when they announced the decision, that's an asterisk on Katie Taylor's career. Who the hell are you? No, it's not. And big up to the 286 Project. And who the hell is Rosie Perez? Is she a fight? I've never heard of her. Now, I'm not up to 100% speed on female fighting, but I know enough of female fighting. Who the hell is Rosie Perez? Is Warrington 2.0. Yeah, that was bad, man. Jake Paul versus Malik Scott. Man, Malik Scott would probably be as negative as anything, even now. He's got Kate Abdo. But saying that, if Kate Abdo, or Kate Scott, as she's known now, is doing the work on it, maybe he would try, you know? I think a 48. Oh, yeah, I mean, like you can see, even 4 years ago when he fought Jones in that exhibition, he had a lot more. Does she not work with Top Rank? No, what's that girl's name who works with Top Rank? I know the girl you're thinking of. I don't think that's the girl. No, I wouldn't either. I think Canelo was just, man, Canelo's on his way out. He's on a victory lap, as Hatman would say. He's 1 foot out the door. Definitely not, man. Maybe he's the greatest in terms of being able to sell events that shouldn't be, but man, he ain't. James Jemison, big up. Yeah, Canelo would absolutely annihilate him. I think she was talking about the fans, thinking she got a gift unanimous decision shaped by all 3 judges, 1 card. I wouldn't call it a full robbery. I wouldn't call it a robbery, but I don't think Katie Taylor, if she can't win fair, then she needs to consider things in her career. People sleeping on the problem child. I believe Jake Paul would be a prime Mike Tyson, and you're not even trolling. Man, I don't believe it. I keep imagining the prime Tyson in there with Jake. Man, that's definitely a troll. You're definitely trolling with that. You gotta be trolling with that. There's no, he's trolling. The commentary was a disgrace. Did you see Eddie Hearn shove it in their face when Katie Taylor won? Well, I would assume he didn't know it was his he obviously wouldn't have been listening to it, but Eddie Hearn tends to look on Twitter a lot. So I'd say he obviously was aware that it was very biased. Do you remember when Katie Taylor fought? Remember when Katie Taylor fought? Actually, it was Serrano the first time. Was it Jessica McCaskill who was commentating, who does not like Katie Taylor? DAZN. Why would you put someone who really doesn't like Katie Taylor commentating on a Katie Taylor fight and think she's going to be impartial? That's one thing I will say. Boxing has 0 regulations, oversight. So basically, G-Man can do a boxing event versus another channel. Yeah, no worries. A few calls and grease a few pams. Well, in theory, yes. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, like, I could ring up Dell, Blue Collar Sport, and say, let's have a fight, mate. We'll stage it. We can do it in your call. We can stream it onto both our channels. We can add some beef. We can pretend we have beef. You know, I'll say this about your channel. You say this about. I'm joking, obviously, and being facetious with this, but you could say this. British Boxing Board will sanction it. We'll stream it. We'll make a killing. Then we'll go for a beer after. You could do that. Jones isn't going to fight Aspinall. He's not. Like, he is not going to fight Tom Aspinall. I'd love him to. And he should. He's fighting Stipe, and I think Stipe's seen better days. I think Stipe's chin is not the best, and I think John Jones is going to win, but he needs to fight Tom Aspinall. And that is such a flipping big fight, but he won't. Because there's no way in hell Jake Paul could beat a prime Mike Tyson. He lost to Tommy Fury, of all people. Is underrated. Yeah, that was a horrible fight. Bouncer versus Arms Cullion. That was awful. Like, truly awful. Yeah, I mean, I'm just glad, like, to be honest with you, I'm just so happy Mike Tyson didn't get hurt. That, to me, was the most important thing. That's just, he does not get hurt. It's been a slow year for women's boxing, so I'm pleased that went well. Yeah, it's been a slow year. What's going on with Dubois? Man, he's lapping up that AJ win. He is going to Brazil. God knows how many people he's seeing out there. But I'm sure he's enjoying himself. Guy must think he's Superman now. Who was the sanctioning body? Well, the sanctioning body would be like the WBC, WBA, but no, I don't believe any of them were involved. I believe it was the commission. So there's a difference between a sanctioning body and a commission. So, like a sanctioning body, again, would be like WBC. So they sanctioned the bout, but the commission would be the British Boxing Board of Control, the Nevada State Commission. This was the Texas State Athletic Commission, and they gave it the okay. They're the ones who can stop a fight happening, so to speak, as opposed to like a sanctioning body can withdraw their sanction from a fight, but the fight can still happen. It'd be like imagine Joshua fights, hypothetically, Joshua fights Wilder and the WBC put an interim title on the line, but then they decide, no, we're gonna withdraw our sanction. Well, okay, it just means the interim title is not on the line, but the fight's still able to happen. So it's really the commission who can pull the plug, and they didn't. So shame on them. And Canelo, just to keep people. That's literally is. When has he beaten a credible boxer? Well, I was going to actually, that's not be a blatant lie. I was going to say if he beats Tommy Fury, but he's not credible at all. I mean, he's garbage. Tyson was washed 30 years ago, which would have been 94. He would have been in prison still then. So maybe, yeah. No, I didn't see his cheeks. Yeah, I would say Zerdo on points. Malik Scott's involved with Zerdo? Oh, Jesus Christ. Desperate times. Could beat both paws. He probably could. I'd be certainly picking him. Remember, people wanted a prime Tyson to come out against Lennox Lewis over 20 years ago. That was nowhere near a prime Mike Tyson then. Nowhere near a prime Lennox Lewis either. He won't. He won't. Tyson was blown. Yeah, man. His stamina was shocking. Shocking. And he beat him with one arm. Left hand. His left hook was always powerful. Paul needs to be extracted from the professional sport of boxing. He needs to be on no platform. Fight someone like Kansas shit. No, he's not going to do that. And again, as I say, the problem is that fight has done so well, has probably made them so much money that he's like, there you go. He'll keep doing it. I'd say he's going to have to use his natural size. He's the naturally bigger of the two. Zerdo did start his career at 168. So I'd say he's going to have to use his size, try and get physical, and set a high pace, set a high tempo, and just see if Zerdo can match it. Yeah, I can't. I'm not going to pretend that I like female boxing. There are certain fights I've enjoyed, but they're few and far between. So I don't tend to watch it. If it's before the main event and I'm at home, there's nothing on, I will watch it. But for the most part, that's why you don't see me doing reviews of it. You know, people say, oh, have you ever watched Sky Nicholson? Look, I know who Sky Nicholson is. Yeah, she's an attractive girl, but I can't bring myself to, especially when people tell me she's a boring fighter. It's like, well, I'm not going to watch. I don't care how good looking she is. I'm not going to watch someone who's boring. Even just male fighters I won't watch who are boring, much less a female. Paul is playing on the same thing Floyd did at the end. Yep. It had so many Mayweather-McGregor vibes to it. Overlook is if someone is in shape, is the leg brace and the inability to stay in that natural bend. Oh man, knees horrible to watch. It was not easy to watch, certainly. Jake doesn't throw and uses his legs. He's going to get caught. Man, Jake will be annihilated by most top-level fighters, or most even probably European-level cruiserweights. Isaac Chamberlain would light Jake Paul up like a Christmas tree and stop him in no time. I think even the commentators didn't see him. And they were, I don't say they were bad. Mauro Ranallo was normally quite good. Roy Jones, an excellent commentator. So they weren't that bad. That was the worst. I will never forget that. So many people assuring me, I wasn't doing videos at the time, but assuring me Conor McGregor was going to beat Floyd Mayweather. I'd be like, based off of what? And people used to say, like, well, he was offered boxing. No one offers you boxing. You either do it or you don't. You know, saying like he was offered boxing, but he chose MMA. No. You either do boxing or you don't. You either decide I'm going to be a boxer, I'm going to fight in MMA. He decided he's going to be a boxer. He decided he was going to be in MMA. Simple as. If he was going, and you could make more money in boxing. If you decided you were going to go into boxing, you were that good, you would have done it like that. Simple as. That was just such a, I'll never forget it. Katie Taylor loves it. Oh man, yeah. I would not shock me. Tommy Fury is a pro fighter, barely. Mike going back and smoking the high grade. The old Bob Marley. The old Bob Marley. Yeah, I'd watch it. You couldn't put that YouTube name in the YouTuber's name in the same sentence as Usyk. No, but I'm pretty sure if they played each other at FIFA or something like that, he probably would win. Yeah, I never really rated Vidal Riley, but I'd still pick him. Still can't believe. Man, Texas don't care. Rocky Marciano making a comeback 54 years ago, 55 years ago he died. So yeah, I'd say he's it wouldn't shock me if he even mentioned that name. Foreman's in his 70s. And I think George Foreman is someone who definitely doesn't need the money. 185 in the building. And people, if you haven't already, smash that like button. We're 71 likes. I want to get to 100 likes before the hour. We're doing this live for about an hour. So I want to get to 100 likes. So if you haven't already, hit that like button. As I said earlier, imagine that like button is someone you don't like. So whenever you jab it or touch it, whenever you smash that like button, you're hitting them in the face. Use Kia Stammer. Imagine that's that. Imagine he's the like button and you want to just bang that guy. Pause. That's what I mean by smashing the like button. Yeah, I reckon. I know he's not known for KOing people, but Stipe's not really got a chin. DC KO'd Stipe. I remember that. Obviously, he lost the next two fights, but yeah, I reckon Jones KO Stipe. I reckon he does. Yeah, man, Mike's legs did not look right whatsoever. It was very bad. I genuinely didn't think it would be as bad as it was. Oh man, he is ducking Aspinall. Man, he's not going to fight him. I'd love it. I hope I'm wrong. I genuinely hope I'm wrong and John Jones does fight Aspinall. He's not gonna. I wouldn't be surprised if he calls it a day after beating Stipe. He'll beat Stipe tomorrow night, and I wouldn't even be shocked if he calls it a day. It wouldn't shock me. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot. Maybe I'll just pop him on timeout for a few minutes because it's fun. I don't mind people, saying this, that, and the other, but when it gets spam and you're just like, oh, please, yeah, I just give him a few minutes apiece. Nah, I knew that. I you could tell the way he bowed to him. I was like, yeah, he knows what's up. He's not gonna do. And yeah, Christina is the girl from Con. She's good. She's pretty good. She's not bad. What are you eating for dinner for the watch along? To be honest with you, I'm keeping it simple. I've got some Waitrose chicken and some Uncle Ben's rice. I'm keeping it simple for that, man. And I have that, and then do the watch along most likely. Keeping it simple, man. We're keeping it simple on a Saturday. Who did Bo beat? Take your time. Riddick Bowe's resume. I think Riddick Bowe, well, obviously Holyfield, obviously. And, he beat Holyfield, who was unbeaten at the time. He beat him twice. They were good fights. They were all good fights, to be fair, the Riddick Bowe fights. Galata, meh. He fought guys like Damiani, who was a weaker heavyweight champion. This is off the top of my head here. He fought guys like Damiani, who was a weaker heavyweight champion. He had the WBO. He beat Biggs. I'm pretty sure he fought Tyrell. Yeah, he did fight Tyrell Biggs. Bo is someone I rate very highly. And I think that he had all the tools to be an all-time, and a lot of people consider him an all-time great heavyweight. Problem with him was his defense was very, very bad. He was pretty much shot to bits by the time he was 29, and he fluctuated in between fights too much. But Bo had, if he boxed a little bit more from the outside, he could have been a bit better because he had a good jab. He was very good up close, which is strange for someone. He was about 6'4", 6'5", with a long reach. It's very strange, but he great inside game did Riddick Bowe. He really was. He was a great fighter, Riddick Bowe. I loved watching him. Oh, hell yeah. Man, she didn't even hide the fact. I heard I heard, obviously, I got my sources. You know, like a mafia guy. Where'd you hear that? I got my sources. I heard what she was making. And honestly, like Eddie Hearn needs his head examined for what he was paying. And why the yeah, but I'm not even gonna go there with my Jama. I hope not. They need to put on some free shows. They need to. They have to. And someone is absolutely obsessed with Riddick Bowe here. Current favorite fighter. It's a good question. Current favorite fighter. From an entertainment standpoint, I would actually have Dubois, Bacoli, because I love watching Bacoli. There's a big entertainment factor around Bacoli. Canelo was up there, but his fights have been a little bit more predictable as of late. So I've kind of not the same with Canelo. I would say Dubois and Bacoli are got to be up there. I do like watching the Telma because I just love watching the talent on display and just thinking, how could he be in a couple of years and this, that, and the other. So they'd be a couple of examples. I think on merit, Malik should be called Malik Abdu. Is actually an actress and a boxing fan. I mean, why would you get an actress and just a fan of boxing, no background in it to do? Yeah, it just there you go. Holy crap, I'm missing a load of questions in the chat. I'm gonna have to. I didn't realize I was so far behind. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? Big up to Adam. How are you, my man? How are you? What do we have here? The young people who don't know the real Tyson were backing Tyson to win. All my colleagues knew Paul would win. This was clearly sold. Oh, yeah, I agree with you. I 100% agree with you, mate. That's exactly what it was. The Mike Tyson's highlights are so good, and the aura that still follows him to this day is there for. It's blatantly obvious to see. The younger generation loved it. Anyone with like half a brain who could see what was going on knew exactly what was going to happen. Simon Bird back in the hospital, G-Man. So really appreciate the content. Glad I avoided that farce last night. Well, I hope whatever you're going to the hospital for, man, you're okay. You come out the other end, and I appreciate you locking in. But man, I don't blame you for avoiding it. Why has the UK become so expensive? Thank God I don't live there. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Like it is. It's expensive. But saying that, Dublin ain't much better. In fact, Dublin's arguably worse. It really is. Dublin is arguably worse. Yeah, I love a new A. Love Beterbiev, Usek as well. I think Oliver McCall's win his comeback a few days ago, age 59. Like, just why? Like, why are these all coming back? Like, what? How are they getting licenses? That's just out of. I don't know. Where's the freedom of speech? There's always freedom of speech, but just don't spam the chat. And big up to Simon Bird. Absolutely. 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 I don't know why people are surprised. Tyson is nearly 60 years old because you are spamming the chat. And I don't like that. I don't like just reading the same question over and over again. Tyson is nearly 60 years old, for God's sake. He's something adult and he's had quite major health issues. Yeah. I mean, that kind of said it all, didn't it? That pretty much just kind of summed it all up. That Mike Tyson, I mean, he couldn't fight in July when this fight was originally sanctioned because he had health issues. And somehow people thought that, that's just going to redeem itself, fix itself overnight, and he's going to be good to go come November, and nothing is going to be out of the ordinary. Nothing is going to be out of the ordinary. That is just, I still can't believe they got away with this fight. I really can't. I still can't believe they got away with this fight. Your boy has done nothing yet, but we need to see where he's really at. Let's take a minute and imagine the 19-year-old Tyson. Man, that would be not nice. That would not be nice to see. Mike Tyson would absolutely, I mean, Jake Paul's head would still be flying through the air now, 8 hours later, if it was a 19-year-old Mike Tyson. G-Man, you sound like you need some Jemmy down you. Nah, obviously this week I've been a little bit under the weather. I just had a minor dose. I think kind of came out on Monday. And I'm still, if you can hear a little bit, you know, got a little bit of congestion up there, but nothing major. Nothing major. And yeah, I'm not big. I don't really like Jameson, to be honest with you. So I'll pass. I'll pass on that one. Excuse me. Yeah, man, they were bad, bad. Kate Abdu has many accents change all the time. It'd be great to see Paul fight a heavyweight in his 40s and get a good hiding. Well, if it was a decent heavyweight, yeah, you'd get an absolute shellacking. Exactly. He beat who, and now he's coming along. Jake entertains the YouTube type crowd, so it seems in line with what he does. You got to bear in mind as well, the crowd were actually booing. And what did they expect? Like, crowd in that fight were genuine, actually booing. And I'm like, what did you expect? Did you expect anything else? Social media has ruined society. It's a double-edged sword for me because although I don't necessarily use YouTube a form of social media, I guess it is. It's done a lot for me. YouTube has, but at the same time, you know, like I see the problems it's caused, and I've heard people say social media it should be antisocial. It is because it does make people antisocial. I mean, you see people now, and you see how they are, and they portray themselves on social media, and then you meet them, it's the polar opposite. They're just like, what? They're just the polar opposite. And social media is a way for people to be fake. You know, I've used this analogy before. Imagine you live in, no disrespect, but imagine you live in, say, Barking or Ilford. Nothing wrong with those places. And you drive a Toyota Yaris. All right, nothing wrong with that. You could hop on a train to Knightsbridge and stand next to a Ferrari in the middle of Knightsbridge and take a picture outside a flat next to a Ferrari, and you could pretend that that's yours, upload it onto social media, and people don't know any better. You know, you can be as fake as you want to be. For anyone from the outside looking in, it looks like, oh wow, this guy owns a Ferrari and he lives in Knightsbridge, and in actual fact, he owns a Yaris and he lives in Barking. Do you think the YouTube boxing scene properly the Saudis' investment? Properly the Saudis' investment and bring boxing back to the true fans? Well, the Saudis have been good, but you can make the argument certainly that there's the potential that they're how is it? God, what was I going to say? I can't think of the word now. They're trying to monopolize it. That's what I word, and I don't like that at the same time. Nah, Lennox Lewis. I wouldn't even. Lennox Lewis has been out of shape for years, so he'd have to lose a lot of that weight, and he'd be out of shape for years and years. So yeah, need to block that clown, man. Beterbiev called out Jake Paul. Jesus Christ, man. Things must be getting bad if you're. Well, maybe go and do the rematch with Bivol, mate. Don't be calling out Jake Paul, although he would give him an absolute hiding. I mean, one jab and that's it. That is it. That is it. No, I knew that for a long time. He'd owned that for a while. I mean, he made a 3 mil profit, so not that bad. But yeah, Turkey's taking over the Ring magazine now. Listen, we need to see what Turkey's plans are. I hope it's good. I hope he doesn't do anything that's, makes you think, oh my God. But look, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what Turkey does. People, we've gone just over the 50-minute mark. I want to get one video recorded before we go live later on this evening. And I say go live, we're going to go live about 9. I think we're going to go live about 9 for the watch along this evening for the DAZN show. So I'm looking forward to that. But I want to get a video out just on that. And actually, JD, big up to JD, because I might even have a think about doing a Tyson versus John Fury video, because that actually could potentially be the only fight for Tyson to actually do that might actually be winnable at this stage. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm glad to see most people in the chat agree that this was a complete farce and should never have happened, and hopefully we never see anything like it again. And people, I will chat to you later. I will see you live at about 8 or 9, most likely, this evening to watch a real show. and a great fight. I think CBS versus Erdo is going to be flipping epic. So I hope you all lock in then. And yeah, until later. The one thing I will say, leaving it here, Tyson versus Paul has done. I mean, again, it's shown how normal boxing needs to improve. It needs to improve because I've got 26,000 views in 8.5 hours on that post-fight review. And like, what the... And regular boxing, as in CBS and Zerdo, people just like, yeah, I don't care. Not that they don't care, but you know what I mean. You're not getting anything like that. So I'm leaving it there. People, 6 likes off 100 likes. Before you go, if you could hit the like button, please. I would much appreciate that. Smash the like button on the way out. 6 likes off 100. I can finish this with 100 likes and we can go and we can start work on later on watch along. So I'll leave it there. Lads, been a pleasure as always. Smash the like button, hit subscribe, all that good stuff. And until later, I will chat to you. Peace out, lads.